Hi guys, welcome to the recap of my trades today for Wednesday, May 29th. And as you can see, it was just an absolutely phenomenal day today. A huge amount of points available in the market. Pretty much the best day of the year so far for myself and for a lot of the students as well. Not just the experienced traders, but beginning traders making more than 10 points on a day like this. But more than just the points, I think it's important to recognize a few lessons from a day like this. And the first one being that days like this, these huge kind of home run days, they don't happen all the time. You're not always going to make 10 points or 15 points or 20 points in the market. And if you try and force that out of the market when the market isn't really receptive to giving that type of profit potential, you end up really hurting yourself. So it's important to understand that there's going to be some smaller win days, even some small loss days in there. And then there are going to be outlier days like this that are really kind of the key to the castle that just open up that profit potential and kind of jump ahead your equity curve a huge amount. So, a day like this, even though the win percentage wasn't that high, based on the movements, we were really able to maximize the profit potential on a lot of these trades. The other thing to realize as well is that with some of these moves, with some of these really strong trends that we had, you need to understand that trends don't turn easily. In a lot of cases, you get trends that they consolidate for a while. Instant reversals don't happen often. So it's important to look for compelling evidence from the markets before you start changing your bias, changing in other directions, because for a lot of traders, newer traders, that's where they run into trouble. They basically try to take every reversal in the market. They see everything as the market turning, but markets just don't turn that easily, certainly not the ES. So if you're trading Emini S&P 500 futures, you have to make sure that you're staying, trading in line with those trends unless you have very compelling evidence to do otherwise. And then the other big lesson for today is, knowing when not to trade, when to reduce risk like we had in a lot of these situations, and at the same time, knowing when to maximize profits when the potential exists for something far greater than, say, your typical 2 points that we usually look for. So we'll kind of go through a few of these trades here. As you can see, right, the market open, we kind of slammed down for a small loss there. Caught the run up and then took a loss in here as well. So in a case like this, it's important to realize when momentum is shifting, when the market is kind of jumping back and forth like this, when we can recognize when that momentum is shifting, when it probably makes sense to really minimize our risk on a trade like this. So instead of risking 4 or 5 ticks, we might just risk 1 or 2 or 3. And that sort of thing is what really allows that risk-reward ratio to be on the high end, so that even if our win percentage is a little bit lower, we can still make some excellent profits. And it's not all about win ratio. It's not all about risk-reward. It's about the combination of the two. It's about the trading expectancy. So another bottom here that worked out, well, that turned out to be a losing trade. A trade here just going for a couple points on this, but when we failed to fill on that, the expectation was for a further move to the upside up into this area here, up into the highs. So got a little bit more profit on that. This was the big one here. Seeing this huge move down, there are times when we look to really maximize our profit potential on our trades, and that was certainly one of those times. So that's a case where my max profit is basically about 5 points in most cases, and so I just went for it and trailed my stop as I went. Ended up getting filled. A little bit lucky because I actually came within a couple ticks of my stop while I was trailing, but did work out. So that was a great trade. Another one here that the market was starting to slow a little bit more as we got down into here, so a little bit smaller target. Was actually going for 5 points initially, but brought that target in when the market really slowed down on us. And then finally another trade here for a loss. And at that point, the market shifted over. I was able to start trading in the other direction. Very, very structured market today. The ES excellent when it comes to technical analysis, when it comes to areas, and we teach a great deal of that with the STA training program. Also kind of a different way to look at it, not just your clear support and resistance, but also looking and considering the supply and demand angle of things, knowing which areas we can trade into, which ones we should not. So trading right into this area here, trading into this area as well, but this one originally just looking for a couple points, but once it failed to make that 2 points there, started to look for the breakout, which ended up happening, and then tried to switch direction there. Didn't work out before we eventually did start to go to the downside, as you can see. So ended up being a really good day. This is usually where I end, right in here about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I did keep going just because things were working out so well. But unfortunately, I got a little greedy here, I'll admit. I was looking for, again, another, 3 or 4 points, and didn't get it. So I ended up giving up a couple points on that one, just taking a break even. But, overall an excellent day. Yeah, there were some trades like this one, for instance, that probably could have been maximized a little bit better. There were some losses that probably could have been avoided. But overall, a very, very good day, and the risk-reward really, really played out on this one by keeping the losses quite small and having some of these excellent winners for what was overall a fantastic day. So hopefully you guys did well. And if you have any questions, anything like that, just feel free to leave a comment here or check out SamuraiTradingAcademy.com. Thanks, guys.